Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
All right, let me sort this out. I apologize. We're gonna have to do this first so I can get to... OBS is just fucking up for everybody today, and that includes me. I shit you not, the literal split second before I hit the button, this button, which gives us this fucking clusterfuck, I thought to myself, oh, you didn't check it. You didn't check the intro. And I didn't check the intro. 'Cause, you know, it's usually fine. But of course, had I checked the intro, I would have found that the screen... Is it screen capture? I have to go back over here and make this a problem to be fixed. Properties, screen 1, done. 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 Okay. With that bit of tech behind us, I hope that you've all had a wonderful day. I've had a very busy day, eventful in a couple different ways. If William's wondering if you interrupted me getting dressed, no, you interrupted me getting undressed. But this is the level we'll stay at for now. Also, I believe that we are close to 2,500 subs. Close being... give or take 1 sub. But every time I say that, somebody unsubscribes. So, that's so funny today. So funny. Anyways, we actually have... I want to watch first what ends up being a bit of a short case. But then we'll go into our title card match, if you will. Also, could it possibly be that we've already gone through a whole nother judge rotation and we're on to Sam Myers now? Wasn't it the lady judge recently? I thought it was. Anyways. We go to this one. Oh, good, it works. Oh, good, it works. Judge? Judge, what I'd like you to do is talk to these ladies. Yes, the ones raising their hands. Guess what they're fighting over, by the way. I'll give you one guess. It's a man! Hi, Courtney! Hi, Tom Charles! Courtney, I am trying to get to that point. Where's that other joint? Oh, it's in my hand. They're fighting over a man. It's fucking always a man or a fence in Thurston County, ladies and gentlemen. A man or a fence. And in this case... these two ladies are fighting over a man. Oh, Lord.
We'll go from there. Over the course of these hearings, which are usually, and I expect these to be too, quite emotional, you're going to hear things you don't like. You're going to hear things you disagree with. I don't want anybody talking over the other person. Don't interrupt the other person. Don't interrupt me. And I want all comments directed to me. Don't speak at the other individual. It was less of a problem that we're on Zoom, but don't speak at the other individual. Again, I want all comments directed towards me. And so, Ms. Anderson, I'm going to start with you. Could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. So kind of before you tell me why you need an order against Ms. Chicas, kind of it's kind of confusing to me how these parties are related somehow. So maybe you could start by explaining that.
Well, she thinks that I intervened in her marriage, and so she stalked my life and is now
Okay,
married.
so hang on just a second here. So, I mean, who is she married to relative, or who are you, Mel?
She is married to my kid's dad, who I was with for
Okay, so
7
hang on, just to stop there. So she's married to your the father of your child.
both of my kids.
Okay, to both kids. Okay, and so okay, continue on. Is there any other relationship between the two of you?
No, not at all.
Okay,
Besides that,
so go ahead.
no.
Okay. So how is it you need an order? And my understanding is also she already has an order restraining you out of Superior Court. Is that correct?
Well, that was after she got served with the paperwork that I filed with the district court.
So, and my understanding is from pleadings, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you would ask for an order against her in Superior Court, but that was denied. Is that true or not true?
It was, yes, that's true. And I didn't.
Okay, so hang on just a second. I'm going to stop you right there then. And so what if anything, has changed from the time that order was denied and now, if anything?
Well, because I didn't realize, because I haven't dealt with the court. And so I didn't turn in a lot of evidence. And now I am going to respond back to the Superior Court because I have a lot to respond back to. And
Okay. So, but hang on just a second. I'm going to stop you again. You can't respond back to a Superior Court proceeding here. That all needs to be handled in Superior Court.
Yes, no, I know. And that's what I'm doing. Yes, that's him being handled.
When is that set for hearing?
Yes, that is on the 12th.
Of May. So that's next week. Is that a week
Yes,
from today?
Yes. And I am responding back to it.
Okay. What time is that hearing set for?
Let me look. I have the paperwork right here. Let me look.
Can we get Superior Court in my inbox, please?
Address. Let's see here.
Ma'am, just tell me the address where I can go and film it for our entertainment now. Doesn't she look like a flight attendant?
That is at 9 a.m. on
Yeah.
May 13th, Tuesday.
Okay. That'd be a Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay, so
On a Tuesday when we eat
Ms.
tacos.
Chicas, if you could raise your right hand here too, please, before I get into, do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, I mean, I guess, well,
It's a doozy. It's a doozy.
I mean, you have a no contact order against her. She wants a no contact order against you. You all kind of want the same thing. I guess, what's your opposition to this?
My opposition is not to have something against me when I've done nothing and she has nonstop harassed me, slandered me.
Well, you did, I mean, hang on just a second. Done nothing is not completely accurate. You admitted to sending notes threatening to have Russia.
I do admit to sending that message. I've never contacted her prior to that or after that. And the reason why I did that, I've explained to the courts in her family case court with my husband and their kids, and also with the one with her that I have against her. I explained she reached out and stalked my son's dad, and I was letting her know to leave him alone. And I talked.
Don't lie.
Remember,
Can I continue? And I talked out my ass, and I, Your Honor, I did not mean that, and I cannot.
this is a real disadvantage to Zoom. Because
Yeah, and that's the real disadvantage to Zoom, that I can pause you too, Judge. See, you can mute them, but I can pause you so that I can talk. Look at her face. Kimberly thinks she's in the right. Kimberly, you can't interrupt the judge. I'm only allowed to do that. Also, why would you say you talked out of your ass? What the fuck? Ladies, get your shit together. You know, I spitball ideas with myself throughout the day about things to talk about sometimes, things that are on my mind, things that I think are important, things that impact me and our community. And y'all are making me deviate with your shite behavior. I don't like that.
Because no one listens to me. So Ms. Chicas, you need to stop. You can unmute. We muted you. Ms. Anderson, you need to stop too and unmute yourself. Do you remember what I said at the beginning about not interrupting the other party?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
hang
I
on
do.
just a minute.
I can, and, no, it's a process for us to do, but it'll have to be after court, because I have to get all that stuff, but yeah. if you
The
wanna do
judge
that.
talks to an assistant. He's checking something out.
So here's what's going to happen here today, Ms. Anderson and Ms. Chicas. You know, problems arise when two courts are looking at the same issues and same parties from two different points of view. And so this thing has already been set for hearing in Superior Court. There's already an order in place. We're just going to transfer this thing over to Superior Court on May 13th at, what time did you say that was, ma'am?
It's at 9 a.m.
At
9
9 a.m. And then just
on May
everything can be
13th.
hashed out there.
Okay,
'Cause
cool.
I don't want to do something here and then you're going to go to Superior Court and say, well, that district court judge did this, and then they're not going to be completely sure about it. And that's just going to make a whole lot of confusion for everybody.
I
Does that
agree.
make sense?
Yes,
Ms. Anderson, Ms. Chicas?
that does.
And then, is there an order in this case? Or
There is,
just, yeah, can just,
yeah, there is. a
Okay.
protection order.
we'll do the temporary.
It would be every
Do you need to do
issuance.
that?
I would need to do
Okay, you
all
can do that after.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to get transferred to Superior Court. It'll get sent over there, and then all of your issues can be resolved by one judge in one place.
Cool. Sounds good. Thank
That
you.
you get that, Ms. Chicas? Okay. Okay, you're muted. You need to unmute.
Yes, Your Honor, I did. Thank you.
Okay, so you both need to attend next Tuesday. And we're gonna do that paperwork later in the morning.
Cool.
And it'll get, we have emails for both of them.
I don't know.
We have an email for
Petition.
Ms. Anderson.
Please don't dox the email. I almost guarantee you, ladies, the man is not worth it. I fucking guarantee you.
I do have both of
I
them.
Okay,
promise.
that's it for today. Copies of the temporary resetting it will be emailed to you both. You're both free to go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Awesome, Your Honor. Thank you so much. I'm so excited that I get to fight my baby daddy's new lady in court in May. Wow. Thank you. What's next, Judge?
So Ms. Gibson, Emily Gibson,
Yes.
can you come on the Zoom call there, please? Activate your camera.
Activated. Oh!
And then Elise Walden, is that you, ma'am? Come up and take a seat,
Emily, look
please.
stern with the big watch on your wrist. Emily looks like she time traveled here from 1907.
So Ms. Gibson, could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
How is it you need an order against Ms. Walden?
What do you mean? Sorry, what do you mean how?
What's that? Okay.
What do you mean, sir? Good sir. No, seriously, ma'am, this is literally your moment. This is it. This is the moment. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is your chance. So what the fuck? This is not the time to choke, lady.
Okay, I'm gonna need you looking at me, okay? You're asking for an anti-harassment order. You're asking for an order to keep this person away from you, not contact you, not come within 1,000 feet of your residence, workplace, or your person. And I read a definition of the harassment there at the beginning. You can't just enter these orders for no reason. You have to show like what Ms. Walden is doing is a pattern of conduct that I described in the initial definition. So what I'm asking you is, how is what she has been doing so harassing that you need a court order to keep her away from you and not to contact you?
I mean, I just want her to leave me alone. I don't, one thing that happened, she logged into like my Google account. I don't want her to do that anymore. She knows where I live. I want her to stay away from me.
Hang on just a moment, ma'am. I'm going to interrupt you. Mr. Garrell on the Zoom call, are you here for an anti-harassment case?
I'm not, Your Honor, and I'm reaching out
I
to
think
my
you're in the
paralegal.
wrong courtroom there. Are you here
I
for a
figured
Lacey case?
No, it's not. I obviously am in the wrong courtroom. Thank you, Your Honor. I'll try
Sure.
to find out which one I'm in.
Another great advantage of Zoom. Continue on, Ms. Gibson.
Over the past year, it's recently stopped, but at one point in November, she pretended to be someone else and called me and harassed me. She called me about probably over 20 times. And
This was in November?
Yes,
When was the last time you heard from her?
in November.
Okay. And so then, were you two in a relationship prior
No,
to all of this? Okay. I guess, why did you wait from November until now? So I'm coming up on, or about 6 months later to file the order.
I originally wanted to file in August, but I felt like I didn't have enough evidence. And someone recent who used to be friends with them reached out to me and told me a bunch of stuff. And that's what made me decide to file now.
Okay. What's the stuff you were talking that you have heard about?
They told me that she had my Google account information. She stalked out where I lived and wants to kill me. This is what she's telling me. And she had explicit photos of me from when I was 17. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, did you guys used to be friends? How did, what? Is that
Yeah.
what happened?
So we were originally friends in elementary school. Then we didn't talk until I was 17 and she was 18. And we became friends again in October of 2023. And then our friendship started to end in February. And we got into a car accident, and that's when our friendship just like stopped basically.
It was, you could say, impacted by the car accident, the impact. Anyways, I just remembered that I have Rice Krispie squares in the next room. I'm gonna go grab one and eat it now. It is Mean Girls, right, Hector? Like, that's exactly the thing.
All right. Let me hear from her, and then I may have some questions. Could you raise your right hand, ma'am? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And so, what's your response to what you've heard?
My first response is that November that she is talking about, she had reached out to me and I have physical proof of that.
Okay.
I did not contact her. Previous to that, I had not talked to her since May 14th. And then she had texted me on a fake number saying we should talk. And the person she is talking about who has said these things to me has been stalking me. And we have been trying to get her to stop and trying to file a protection order against this person who has been.
Not Ms. Gibson. someone
No, the
else.
person who is telling her all of these
Got it.
lies that I want to kill her and that I had explicit photos. I don't have any of that. I don't know where she lives. I just know what she's told me and what is on the court orders that she's in Longview. I have no idea where she lives. I haven't talked to her since she reached out in November, and I have no intentions of communicating with her since I'm just done with it.
All right, Ms. Gibson, I'll give you the final word here.
Okay. So I submitted screenshots of when she reached out to me in November, and I have the call logs of all the phone calls she had called me with. I also have evidence of her logging into my account.
When did that happen?
November. I believe it was November 4th.
Hang on just a second, stop there. What's your response to that?
Emily had added her account to my computer back in February of 2024, and I had to contact a friend of mine who is a tech savvy person to get it removed from my account. And in order to get it removed from my Google account, you have to log into that account to remove it off of your computer, and that is what I was doing.
Continue, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen today, Ms. Gibson and Ms. Anderson. I read that definition of at the beginning. I hope you were both paying attention about the definition of harassment and what it is and what it's not. And at this time, based on what's shown.
I'm sorry, Judge. Only because only because like it's totally different. I'm pretty positive you just said haramus. I don't even know what the definition of haramus is. Let's just double check this. If we
To me,
Judge
and Ms. Anderson,
Judge?
I read that.
I want you to be upfront with us here. Be serious. Come on now.
Definition of at the beginning. I hope you were both paying attention about the definition of harassment and what it is and what it's not. And at this time, based on what's shown to me, I'm going to deny your request for an order, Ms. Gibson. I just don't find that it's rises to the level where an order is appropriate or necessary. And so it's apparently, as far as I can tell, you two haven't communicated with each other since November. It's probably not a bad idea. And if there's further contact where either or both of you get to the point where there is a problem, you can bring it back. But for today, ma'am, that I'm not gonna enter an order. And so sometimes Ms. Walden, I'm going to speak directly to you. Sometimes people, when they come and they're respondent and they come to court, and an order gets denied, which I'm denying this one, they kind of look at that as some sort of triumph and sometimes rub the other person's nose in it. And so I'm not looking for that either. Do you understand that?
Yeah, no.
But that's it for today, ma'am. Ms. Gibson, you're free to leave the Zoom call. You're free. Well, I'm going to do a denial order. If you want to wait for that, you can have it. But give me just a moment. And we'll email a copy of this to you there, Ms. Gibson.
Okay, thank you.
So, Mr. Grants and Ms. Eggers, should come on up, take seats there.
Mr. Eggers! Oh my god, a whole family got one, Donna. Miss Queen Donna, queen of our chat, Orlando Chiquita, sending through 5 memberships, one given to an entire family. An entire family. Plus other names I know. Alex Mac Attack, D-Man. But seriously, the whole Jones family, welcome. Welcome. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, welcome now. We're just getting started. This is the main case of the evening. You're in perfect time. I do want to, I love Miss Donna. Thank you, Donna. I know Miss Donna doesn't cook very much. I went and spent some time with her in Florida before, which was so lovely, but she does not cook very often. She would be the first to admit it. I'm positive. And so I don't think that Miss Donna would have a bacon grease container under her sink. But I would love to know in the chat how many of you do have a bacon grease container under your sink or in a spot in your house. Tell me all about it. Do you have it? Is it just discard oil? Do you save it and put it in your fridge? What is your bacon thing that you do? I have a grease sort of jar that I pour like old grease into, because I was always drilled into me like you would never put grease down the sink. But as an adult learning about flavor and cooking, I save my bacon grease and I put it in the fridge, and then I use it for cooking. The top part, I skim it, right? Now, Courtney's got the right idea right there. Pour used fat in used containers and throw them in the trash. Smart. But I think you'll understand why I asked this question as we continue on into this case. This greasy TPO case.
Mr. Briznovich, could you come on the Zoom call, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi there. So who's going to speak first on this side?
I was like, I can.
What's that?
I can.
Okay. And then, and you are Ms. Eggers?
Yes.
Could you raise your right hand, please? And do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. And Mr. Bresnovich, I'm going to hear from her. I may hear from him, and then I'll have some questions for you. And so, Ms. Eggers, how is it you need an order against Mr. Bresnovich? But first of all, are you guys next door neighbors?
Yes.
Got it.
So we have we rent, and we have the main house, and he actually.
Mr. Bresnovich, can you hear this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to speak a little bit louder, though. Please.
So we have the main house, and he has like a little AUD, kind of like they turned a garage into a studio apartment and everything.
Okay.
Start off last summer, there was noise complaints and everything, and he was just blaring like gun shooting sounds.
Who was making the noise and who was complaining about it?
So we didn't file like an actual complaint because it lasted a few
So
days.
he was making the noise and you were
Yes.
complaining about it. Okay,
And
continue
then,
on.
so it's just like, it started off with just that. So we didn't actually make a complaint because it stopped within a few days and everything. But over the last few months, recently in April, we had a lot of issues where he would ride his bike throughout our yard. And then he ended up tearing up a whole bunch of our flowers in our flower bed. And then he was pretty much vandalizing our vehicles with throwing food and everything else on all of our vehicles in our driveway and everything. And then
What, just, I read that, and I think I saw in one of the videos, somebody.
it's all on videos and all on
Yeah, and
pictures.
what sort of food was he throwing there?
So there was a whole bunch of like nuts and everything, and then it looked like globs of either bacon grease or something, but it's grease or oil. And it got all over 3 of our cars in our driveway.
Got it.
And it's stained our cars.
How long ago?
This all happened within this last month of April.
Okay.
And I sent videos and pictures of everything.
No, I saw.
There's like 5, and it happened like back to back to back.
Okay. So, I don't have any questions for you, Mr. Grant, right now. Basically, everything I've heard is fairly consistent with what's in the file. Mr. Bresnovich, could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down, and then I'll hear from you.
Okay. So I do live in that ADU on the property. We are both renters. In front of my ADU, I have a sidewalk and a driveway. That is my access.
Oh my god, you guys, I was outside dealing with something. Thought I was gonna miss this. You guys, this is so fucking good. Just prepare yourselves to laugh so hard. Okay.
In these videos that you see, these pictures you see, you'll see their parking situation there where they leave a void up against the house. And they leapfrog that white car by driving across my sidewalk on my driveway, and on multiple occasions kick my garbages to the ground to give themselves access. Now, I'm a disabled veteran. I just got a service dog. I usually listen to meditative music and do a lot of volunteer work. I'm not involved in just hanging out with them, dealing with them. They're constantly on that back patio right outside my front window, smoking, joking, drinking, blasting music. A significant chunk of most days. They've got extra tenants in that house. It's not just them. They have an elderly couple with them that has hard of hearing. They're always bickering and making noise. They also have a dog. Every time I step out of my house, their dog barks at me. That messes with my PTSD. I am in mental health recovery. I have been for the last 6 years. I'm going to counseling. I go to group therapies. I assist widows on farms. I work with church groups and organizations. I helped the Girl Scouts last weekend. These accusations they have are gross, disgusting, and I think they're being a bunch of divas. Your Honor.
A bunch of what? You help the who? The widows? On what farm? Is this... My roommate is yelling back at me. Who? You helped who? Oh, he's not doing it now. Now I sound like an idiot. The real diva is right here. You're right. This guy's the diva.
What about it looked to me like in one of those videos, there was, it was kind of nighttime, but it looked like somebody was throwing something on the car. Was that you?
That was me.
Okay, did you throw something on their car?
A can of bacon grease.
Why would you do something like that?
Because they're driving on my sidewalk for months. They didn't show you any video of that. That's interesting.
That's not a,
They get their spot of land, I get my spot of land. They don't get to bully me in numbers.
okay.
It's discrimination against the disabled veteran, Your Honor.
Well, sir, first of all, thank you for your service, even though I'm Canadian. I'll say that. I know that's what you say. Secondly, Mikey, do you mean me or you? Because you're the one with the check mark. That's pretty diva-like. and awesome. We love it around here. I hope you're doing well. I heard that like Ryan Hall y'all was yelling out North Carolina stuff today. So that's never a good sign when your state is in Ryan Hall y'all's mouth. Oh, I was right then. You are the diva, and we love you. Thank you so much. Look at that, 17 months of support. It feels like longer. Thank you. Ryan Hall is AI. Pretty much. I'm still sour. But seriously, did he just admit to throwing the can of bacon grease? Tin Man, do you have a can of bacon grease? Mikey, do you? You know, is it a can? Is it a jar? Does it really depend on where you are? Or does it depend on if you eat out very much? That's the question. Tin Man says you do. Would you ever throw it at your neighbor's car? Because they were smoking, joking, token, and listening to music. Your mom did when you were a kid. Yeah, I don't know. I just was always told you don't pour grease down the sink. So that was the rule. Anyways, okay, so he decided to throw his on their car. Admittedly, he just admitted that. Probably not a great idea.
I'm by myself over there. Nobody comes over. Nobody wants to visit. They hate seeing my place, and that my little tiny patio is right up against their back patio. They got 340 degrees of the property. I got 20. They can be anywhere else, but they're always right there outside my front window, less than 20 feet away, smoking, joking, drinking, throwing beer bottles in buckets. It's not their kid I'm yelling at. I told them when I first move in that I want nothing to do with them. I'm dealing with my own stuff, that I have mental health issues. I want nothing to do with them or their kids. And then they got their kid yelling at me, hi neighbor, hi neighbor, hi neighbor, demanding it. Disrespectful. And I don't want to yell back. She don't hear me. And I don't want to raise my voice. So I keep walking. I've been ignoring them for the last 2 years. I want nothing to do with them, honestly. I'm home as little as possible.
Okay. What's the parking situation? Explain that to me.
So we were having off schedules. And so we have 4 people in our household that have vehicles. Everybody is on the lease.
Okay.
So the 2 additional, which is my mom and her boyfriend, they're on the lease.
Yeah, but he's saying that I'm not concerned about that, even if
So
they are, if they aren't.
pretty much, I'm a great driver. So I would occasionally use the portion to get out, sometimes get back in.
Is that a humble brag? I'm a great driver. She didn't have to add that. I'm a great driver. I'm a great driver.
I wouldn't tear up the gravel. I wouldn't park there or anything. I would use it for 3 to 5 seconds to get back in the spot. And then that was it. There was no damage to the sidewalk or gravel or anything else because it's a sidewalk. It's concrete. But there was no damage, no nothing. I would use it for 3 to 5 seconds and get back in because we have wonky schedules.
Okay.
Also,
I mean, is there a way to park either in the street or, I mean, clearly that bothers him.
I talked to the realty company and we're making a gravel pit in our front yard, but me driving 3 seconds on concrete and gravel for him to vandalize our property.
I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm not justifying. I'm going to come back to him on
Okay.
that. It's inappropriate for him to do that in any circumstances.
but yeah,
But my point is, you know, you can respect his right of way and gravel area and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, well, it's only 3 seconds, but you know, to some people, 3 seconds is a big deal.
so we contacted the realty company, which they knew that we were driving on it anyways. And they gave us the okay because they had to talk to the actual owner and we're able to now make a gravel pit.
But if it's okay, but if it's his right now, even though, I mean,
We haven't ever
say, for
since
example, you can't, you know, the owner might not necessarily, if it's his right of way, his portion of the thing, you know, the owner can't like if you're in an apartment, for example, and some renter is, it's one apartment, you know, and going into the other person's apartment. You know, and well, the owner said it was okay. Well, the owner can't do that. That's that person's a property. He has a right to that particular area. The same might be true for this parking situation where that's his, and for whatever reason, he doesn't want you there. You know, the owner can't give you permission, say something, you know, over, well, he's paying rent, that he gets to decide that. See what I mean? You following my example?
Why is everybody walking behind the judge? I never understand this. Oh, God. What a fucking nightmare neighbor situation. Again, I don't talk to my neighbors. I don't see them. This is never... like, I can't even begin to think of why or what would cause this type of situation. Oh, my God.
Okay. So my question to you is, can you conduct your parking activity out there in a way that avoids that? It may be a little bit inconvenient for you, but I know it's clear to me that the way you're doing that makes it convenient for you. But go ahead. You were going to say something.
I was like, we have now, ever since the videos that I sent back to back, because I contacted the real company after that. And ever since that, we haven't moved the cars whatsoever.
And then with regard to, is it your child?
So I have,
how many children do you
we
have?
have a 7-year-old,
Okay.
but every house on that block has about an 8-year-old and under
But
with multiple kids.
I'm not worried about other people on the block. I'm only worried about the only people in front of me are you and him. And so he said that, you know, he thinks, for right or for wrong, and I'll come back to him in a minute, that one of your children is bugging him. And, you know, you could say, hi neighbor, might seem friendly, but I could see where that can be kind of done where you're trying to egg someone on, or do you have a response to that? How old are your children?
7 years old.
Okay.
She's friendly.
Sure. Could you maybe talk to your child? Think, well, maybe Mr. Briznovich doesn't appreciate that, so maybe you could just leave him alone.
Okay, well, also in the beginning, he was friendly. He would let her go pet his dog and everything else.
All right.
But yes, I can talk to her.
All right. So, Mr. Briznovich, I'm going to come back to you. I'm assuming you were hearing all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And so that hopefully they can respect, you know, your portion of the parking area. And I get all that. But at the same time, you know, and I appreciate, you know, thank you for, you said you were a veteran, you know, thank you for your service. And I appreciate all that. I know clearly you're going through a difficult time. I get that too. But you just can't throw bacon grease on people's cars. You just can't do that. You must understand that, don't you?
I do understand. Can you imagine what it took for me to get to that point? How much of a jerk you have to be for someone to get to that point? I didn't wake up one day and think, this is what I'm gonna do with my day.
No, but I don't suspect that, but you know, that's just, that's not a justification. I can't look at that and say, well, yeah, he was aggravated, so I can understand that. But I mean, it's again, throwing, you know, in the manner that you did, and they say that stained the car, and I'm not sure whether it did or it didn't, but you know, that you just can't do that.
I don't want to do it again.
Okay. So what's going to happen today is based on what's presented.
Your Honor, more if I may.
Go ahead.
Those allegations with their kid and talking to the neighbors, that's some seriously defamatory behavior. She should be required to apologize for that. I want nothing to do with any of their kids. I wish them healthy, long, joyful life.
Okay, well, good. And I don't, okay. I appreciate what you said. But what's going to happen here today is I'm going to enter orders, 2 orders that basically just says you're just not to contact them. And that's it. And so hopefully that'll just be a bright line, because I perceive, you know, going on their property and, you know, on the flowers, and frankly, throwing the, you know, the main concern is throwing grease or something on their car. That's, I consider all that leads to the point where orders are going to be entered, but there's not going to be a distance restriction. There's not going to be any sort of anything like that. It's just stay off their property and just don't contact with them. And that's it.
What about that back patio where they're within 20 feet of my house smoking and joking? Can we do something about that? We got a
Well,
Washington
no,
State
well,
law.
first of all, they're the ones who brought the order.
Yeah.
And, you know, in terms of they're on their own patio within your, again, there's not a distance restriction. You can be under, you can be on your property, there can be on hers. You just can't you can't go on to theirs. And, you know, and if I can't, I'm not making any ruling on that. If you feel that's harassing, you can ask for your own order. But I don't know. And again, I'm not out there watching it. They're hearing this. Maybe, hopefully they can conduct themselves and I don't know what's going on out there, but maybe they're mindful of that. Maybe they can take a look at how they conduct themselves on their patio. But no, there's nothing, that's not really in front of me right now.
What about the security camera that tracks me as I come in and out of my house?
Well, I can see the security camera that I've seen. You know,
We got
again,
one.
they're
Good.
not in front of me on all of that. The security camera that I've seen was presented to me was on their driveway, you know, looking at their trucks. You know, if you feel like they're cyber stalking you or stalking you in some manner, you're free to go get your own order, but you're going to have to show all that. And but for today, the only thing in front of me now is their order asking for you to not contact them. And based on what I've heard, both from you and from them, I'm gonna grant them. But again, no distance restriction, just stay on your property, stay off of theirs, and don't have any contact with them. And the order will be in place for 1 year.
No problem.
I hope not. And I hope that now that everybody's kind of on the same page, you can get along. You do have to live next to each other, and life would be a lot easier if you could all of you could conduct yourselves in a manner that doesn't aggravate your neighbor. Both sides. But given what's been alleged, I am gonna, again, they're not, the parameters of the order is just stay off your property. And he's to stay off your property. He's not to contact you. All right? Give me a minute and I'll fill these out and then you'll be on your way.
Yes, Judge, you take your time. I actually think that that's about it that happened in this court. Oh. Well, what the fuck do we have here?
When the table clears, you can come up and take a seat.
Okay, Judge.
But you can wait till the table clears. And then Ms. Abelson, and then that'll be the last case this morning.
Oh, all right, you're in charge. Wow. Oh my God, that's her finger. Holy shit. I thought that was her butt. I don't know how. Physics don't matter. I just thought it was her butt. Why does she remind me of being in both a camper and a dinette booth? A camping dinette booth. That's what it appears she's appearing from. A camping dinette booth in a tent trailer. That's the vibes I'm getting. Circa 1997. That's when we popped it up. Judge, what are you pondering? Amy's like, fuck this. She's making fun of me. I'm turning off the camera to the tent trailer.
Wait a sec, she'll come up when the other one's ready.
Okay, who's taking so long, bruh? I haven't had dinner yet, and I'm hungry. Oh, I also like to rant a little bit about Walmart raising their prices on certain things. I'm fucking livid. Just about livid. Twice the price? Good night, Hector. This might be the end for all of us. I don't think it's tariffs, Hector. I don't. I think it's just Walmart taking advantage. I really do. Allegedly, in my opinion. But specifically, green beans and
Right, you're free to
butternut
go.
squash.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Tell me about it, Judge. $2.57 for 500 grams, and now it is $4.
So Ms. Abelson, can you come on the Zoom call, please?
Yes, I'm here.
Ugh.
Okay, so Did you
my
file
whole
a case
mood.
in Pierce County Superior Court?
No.
Someone did.
I should just grow green beans. We can grow a lot of things. What I actually should do is grow the most expensive items. Berries. That's what I should grow. Cost per square foot, like, you know what I mean?
Can you
That's
see
where you
that?
get your most bang for your buck.
Hang on just a minute.
I know, Judge. It is difficult to figure out. I'm not a gardening lady. I don't really understand, but I do know that strawberries, raspberries are expensive as fuck. So the more that you grow, the less that you need to buy. Lettuce has become expensive, but we can grow that here too. Spices, yeah, you should. I will stock up on spices soon. I would have literally grabbed like 5 or 10 packs of
Look at this.
butternut squash. Yeah, Judge, I've already looked at it. It's fucking nuts. I went to my old history on Walmart and double checked the prices. But I would have bought way more before. Assholes didn't tell me.
Well, come here.
What is going on up there? What's secret?
See, there's a civil protection order here, but then she's also listed as a respondent down there in Pierce County, which was just filed today.
Okay.
But then, can you see who? And she lives in Pierce County.
Let me look.
I might just have to source it in larger quantities and buy it in bulk. Oh my god. I was just like, what the fuck? My phone is talking to me, but I just put together what it said. Battery low. Battery low. Battery low. Interest low. Interest low.
But
I'm so uninterested, Judge. What the fuck happened here?
And it just filed this morning.
It's just filed this morning. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Let me look here. So orders.
yeah, I'm not seeing anything. On that.
Active. Yeah.
My ear hurts
Oh, it's a
and
different.
it's late. I want dinner.
Who's Vernon Miller?
Not
He is
I.
my ex. He's the one who kidnapped my child this morning.
He did what now?
He kidnapped my child. I haven't seen my child in days, and that's probably what you're referring to.
He filed an order. I know. What's his relationship with you?
He's my ex. He's the father of my child.
I see.
He's the one that's been
That's
giving me issues with the whole restraining order with Kelly Hart.
Okay. Well, an order was filed this morning in Pierce County Superior Court. And that's okay.
Which is funny because I was going to do that, but he knew I was coming to court, so he went ahead and did it before me.
Well, you can have it. Well, I just wanted to let you know what's coming.
I
How old's your
appreciate that.
child?
She's 3.
Okay.
I already have calls to CPS and everything for him putting hands on her and driving with her while intoxicated.
That's not why we're here. I just wanted to
I
figure out what
understand.
that order was. And it doesn't, apparently it's not. Well, maybe it is. I guess I'll find out.
Oh, the vibes. You're ruining the vibes, Amy. Seriously. I'm getting bad vibes. Not good. Poor child. It's always the children that suffer, people. Repeat it after me. Don't be an asshole for your child. It's so simple.
So Ms. Abelson, I'll come back to you in a minute. Ms. Hart, we'll start with you. Give me, does it make me, my computer's being slow. So let me explain to me how, and again, this is another case where it's kind of a confusing set of parties, so to speak. How are you folks related? How do you know each other?
I helped raise her stepdaughter for 14 years,
Okay, so-
and then she is now back with my ex that I have a child with.
Okay, so you helped raise her stepdaughter.
Her daughter, yes.
Yeah. Or so it's your stepdaughter?
Yes,
So you were married for a period of time to the father of her child?
yes,
Right.
many years.
Okay. And then, and now the daughter, how old's that daughter now?
My daughter is 10.
No, the daughter, okay.
18.
18. Okay, and so now, the person you were married to, is that person now back with her? Is that, okay. And that's not Mr. Miller?
No.
Okay.
No.
And so, and that is the father of your child?
Not Vern Miller, no.
No, the person who's back with her
Yes,
is the father of someone named Casey?
yes.
And so then, is there a parenting plan placed? And so you had some problems with her. Apparently it was with Casey, who had been her. The father of Casey, who's now with her, who used to be married to you. Is that
Yes.
correct? So Casey goes and visits them from time to time.
Her dad, they don't live together.
Okay. And so, how is it that you, I've read everything that was submitted, both by both parties.
I didn't know there was a response.
It was quite lengthy. And I think it was, hang on just a second.
Oh my god, which man are these ladies fighting over? Which joy of a man has these two ladies all aflutter? It's always a man. Tonight's theme was man, bad neighbor,
Looks like it was
man.
filed on April 30th, if I remember right. April 29th, my mistake.
You're making me want to eat carbs. What time?
That was
will
my
you
bad
be
then, because I
tomorrow?
checked up until Monday, because in my paperwork, it says that everything should be submitted a week before court, so.
It was late.
Oh, you're trying to. Oh, she's making. That's an objection, ma'am. That's actually a very good objection. You object to the timeliness of the filing. Good job. Shockingly, that's a good objection. Secondly, we will be regular time tomorrow, like 4 o'clock. My time. Oh, NPC says, not it. Not it.
Busy as next week. Can you look? So
More
there's
like
70 pages submitted.
6:30.
Wow.
I think including
Did he say 70?
declarations from various people, including. Can you look? So there's 70 pages submitted.
Wow.
I think including declarations from various people
Okay.
and text between you and her, which seemed pretty congenial.
Would that be from prior conversations or from
Well,
this
earlier
one?
in April. Yes. So I mean, yeah,
Did this
April's,
lady-
again, I'm just looking at the first one I called up, April 2nd. And again, it just seemed pretty normal communication between two people who are living. Yeah. I think you should probably read that stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna find out how busy it is.
There's like 7.
All right. So do you know how to access stuff on the website?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a temporary in place here?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just reconvene here in a week.
Okay.
Let's see, take a look at that. See
Okay.
what you think.
And then I can respond to it, right?
What's that?
I can respond to it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You can, but get it in early. And ma'am, you want to check that. We'll reconvene here in a week. There's not any order in place. If you respond to it, you can. And again, I'm just telling you, you can expect, as far as I can tell, to get served with anti-harassment in Pierce County. I have no idea what that's about. Yeah, we'll see where we're at in a week.
Okay, thank you.
Come on up and get that, ma'am. And then you copy this, will
mess.
get, do we have your email address, ma'am?
Please don't share
What's that?
it. We don't need to talk about that part. We don't need that. No, we don't. Does anybody want to guess how many thousands of steps I did today? It is high, but not my highest number, but it is pretty high. I have been moving almost nonstop since I woke up. I'm very tired, but the good news is we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Get your guesses in the chat for my step count. We will clarify that before we say goodnight. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I know I owe you a members only soon, so that'll be coming up. Keep an eye out. And tomorrow I think we'll be back at 6:30, 6:37-ish. Anyways, Courtney, you're too high. Cellulite Yoga Pants and Adam are too low. I am at currently 16,927 steps. By the time I close out tonight, maybe we'll be at 18,000. Miss Donna, Orlando Chiquita, I love you too. Mikey, thanks for stopping by. And you guys, do me a favor, remember that I love you and I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.
Ways down and ready to ride.